Read the title again. This is not a guide on how to be happy. Now read it for the third time. This is not a guide on how to not be depressed. If that's what you're looking for, this is absolutely not a video for you. Go see a therapist, go take your meds, and come back. I'll see you right after the intro. Alright, so you stayed for the intro, so I'm going to assume that you are non-clinically miserable and you have experienced the lowest of lows at least once in your life. And that's good. Maybe not right now, especially if you're still going through it. But it will definitely be good for you in retrospect. So have some hope. Assuming that you're self-aware enough to learn from what happened to you in the past, instead of being stuck there, reliving the same moments over and over in your head, every miserable period in your life has something to teach you, even though almost always the bad outweighs the good. But there are plenty of videos and guides and therapists that will teach you how to deal with past events. So I might as well not keep adding to that pile. Instead, I wanted to talk to you about how to deal with those moments as they are happening instead of having to wait until you can properly process what really happened. Before sharing this magical method, which could easily be reduced to go with the flow, we should probably take a look at what makes somebody miserable. So let's take in some examples that are definitely on top of my head and not scripted. Your relationship is going poorly. Your job doesn't pay you enough. Everybody in traffic drives like they don't have a license. This video didn't make your life perfect. Neither of those are tragic events in themselves, and neither will make you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But they definitely add up to that, especially if you let them. So what do all these things have in common? They have an expected result. There are situations where you expect a certain outcome or to play out a certain way, but the reality is that the world almost never follows your script. So the traffic didn't go your way, the relationship didn't go as planned, your boss still doesn't consider you for that raise, and all these things lead to disappointment. And how many times can you be disappointed with the outcome of your everyday life until it starts feeling like it's crushing you? The constant disappointment is what makes you miserable. Being perpetually unsatisfied is what being miserable really is. You never see somebody that loves everything about their life and they feel shitty about it. So in order to not be miserable, all you have to do is to not be disappointed anymore. That sounds pretty simple, right? So you stop this video, you know what you have to do. You get on with your day, and tonight you go to bed and you're still disappointed with how your day went, but now you're disappointed because you're also disappointed. So you know you shouldn't do it, but it's still happening. So how do you avoid disappointment? We already established that being disappointed is caused by having expectations about the outcome of a given situation. So the easy fix to misery is to get rid of all those things. I'm not saying that you should settle for boring, below mediocre life. That is just a horrible suggestion and betrays everything that this channel stands for. Giving up your expectations means that you have more mental space to roll with the punches. When you hope for a single outcome, you're too busy trying to make everything around you meet your end goal. And generally, you'll fail because there are too many factors you just can't control. But if you give that up, now you're looking at making your overall goals work with everything that's around you, and you can adapt to it no matter what happens. So let's revisit one of the examples. You're not paid enough. Previously, you were miserable because you're not getting a raise, but in reality, there are a lot more options than that. And since you're not fixated on a raise in your current position anymore, and you realize that your actual goal is to make more money, you can roll with whatever happens in order to achieve that goal. Maybe you can transfer in another department. Maybe you can look at the promotion. Maybe you can find a different company to work for. Or maybe you finally finish that book you started. It might not pick up, but it might make a little bit of more money. You never know. Just go with it. In this scenario, your life is like a maze. You might want to get to the exit, but if you're set on going right and keeping it that way, and you hit a dead end, you don't stop there and cry about it not working. You either explore and work with the maze or try to become Icarus. So, if you don't want to be miserable anymore, stop having expectations about how things out of your control will turn out. Roll with the punches and maybe subscribe to this channel. I heard it helps. See you in the next one.